is vital for our well-being and pleasure, but the journey from farm to table has challenges, including food spoilage. Food spoilage leads to decay and makes the food unsafe or unappetizing for consumption. Understanding this issue is important for our health and enjoyment for culinary creations. Factors influencing food spoilage are numerous, and food development plays a significant role. Product development introduces a new or improved products to the market. In the food industry, this involves creating products that meet consumer preferences and needs. Inefficient food production can be negatively impacted by food spoilage, which becomes more concerning as the world population increases. Therefore, serious consideration needs to be given to both increasing food production and reducing food spoilage. Food development is a dynamic field that involves research, formulation, testing, and production, all aimed at providing delicious results. One fascinating area of food development is the realm of jam. There are sweet spreads made from fruits or vegetables, sugar, and sometimes pectin. Jams have a long history and evolve over the time. Food development is a vast and ever-changing landscape, exemplified by the developments of jams. It demonstrates creativity, innovation, and meeting consumer demands for the flavor, nutrition, and variety. Jam anthesizing qualities are enjoyed worldwide, but the threat of spoilage still remains. Therefore, to explore the development of jam and its shelf life, we have created grapefruit jam and conducted prototype testing. Before delving into the prototype discussion, let's first explore the research and study conducted on grapefruit jam. According to the European Union Council, fruit jam is defined as a product that combines pectin gel formulation with sugar, fruit pulp or puree from one or more fruits. Grapefruit jam is a processed fruit product crafted to extend the fruit preservation while retaining its vibrant color, nutrition value, and unique flavor. Scientific studies have shown that certain attributes contribute to the distinctive quality of grapefruit jam, such as the importance of pasteurizing all fruit pulps to ensure the excellence of this jam. One crucial characteristic of grapefruit jam is its consistency, focusing on its texture and flow. Ideally, it has a smooth and spreadable texture without any lumps or coarse particles. While grapefruit jam is typically characterized by a semi-solid consistency, the addition of pectin, a natural polysaccharide found in the citrus fruit, influences its viscosity and gives it a gel-like texture. Maintaining the right moisture content is essential, and typically grapefruit jam contains a moisture content ranging from 20% to 30%. This optimal level ensures its shelf life, stability, and texture. The water activity of jams with added sugar falls between 0.75 and 0.84, classifying them as intermediate moisture fruits. The pH of citrus fruit jam falls within the range of 2.0 to 3.4, with the grapefruit jam having an acidity level of around 3, as this low pH range is favorable for gelation, influencing the jam's gel structure. Total soluble solid content is an important measurement for jam, indicating the presence of sugar, acids, and other dissolved substances, expressed as a degree of Brix and determined using a refractometer. A study stated that Spanish quality norm for fruit jam specifies a product with 40 to 60 degree of Brix, and for citrus fruit jam specification sets around 60.85%. Color, along with its sweet sour flavor and convenient consistency, it has an important quality characteristic of a grapefruit jam. Grapefruit jam falls within the red color family, boosting its high brightness and saturation. In the RGB color space, it can be represented as 86% red, 22% green, and 12% of blue, according to a digital color analysis of study. Beyond its sensory attributes, it has also a source of valuable nutrients. It contains vitamin, phenolic compounds, and powerful antioxidants that offer potential health benefits, such as disease prevention, for example, cancer and cardiovascular disease. Grapefruit itself contains a bioactive compounds like polyphenols, including anthocyanins, which act as a natural colorant and enhance the appearance of the jam. Hence, the characteristic of grapefruit jam is vital to take in count and understand its function, play upon the properties of the jam.
Now I'll be talking about the type of spoilage and microorganisms involved in jam. Generally, because jam contains a lot of sugar which act as a natural preservatives, jam doesn't spoil. However, if jam isn't stored properly, jam spoilage will still occur. Before jumping into jam spoilage, let us explain what food spoilage is. Food spoilage can be defined as a process or alterations that makes a product undesirable or unacceptable to consume in terms of the appearance and taste. So, what type of spoilage will occur in jam? Basically, the type of spoilage that can occur in jam is biological. Jam is mainly caused by mold and yeast. These microorganisms can cause undesirable appearance such as growth of mold on the jam and cause off odors such as fermented, yeasty, or alcohol odors. Jam has a low pH and high sugar concentrations, which leads to low water activity. Based on literature facts, yeast have the ability to tolerate low pH environments, and mold have the ability to tolerate high sugar concentration environments, which implies that they can also tolerate low water activity environments. Zygosaccharomyces, which is one type of yeast, can tolerate a high sugar concentration environment as well.
Next, we'll move on to preservation techniques. When food is not stored under the necessary condition, microorganisms find the right conditions to reproduce quickly, which causes deterioration and contributes to food waste and health issues. Food preservation is the technique used to prevent decomposition accelerated by microorganisms as well as to retain the quality, edibility, and nutritional content of food. The primary method for preserving food products include drying, cooling, heating, fermenting, and addition of chemical preservatives. Fruit jams are typically susceptible to microbes such as mold, yeast, bacteria such as lactic acid, bacillus, and Clostridium species. In our product, sugar acts as a natural preservative which inhibits the microbial growth as it retains water, therefore extending the product's shelf life. As the grapefruit is a fruit high in acid, it creates an acidic environment that prevents the growth of bacteria and yeast. Due to its flavor and antioxidant properties, citric acid has been employed in the manufacturing of fruit jams. Using just one preservation strategy is insufficient to guard against the microbial deterioration. Therefore, the shelf life of jam can be increased by using a variety of preservation techniques that inhibit the growth of bacteria. The most effective approach for rendering food microorganisms inactive is heat processing. It eliminates yeast, molds, and vegetative bacteria while allowing the product to be safe with an extended shelf life. To stop the growth of bacteria and the production of enzymes that can cause spoilage, techniques like canning and pasteurization can be utilized. In order to prevent recontamination, the jars must be properly sealed following heat processing. Another method of preservation that can be utilized is the addition of chemical preservatives. Some commercially available preservatives such as potassium sorbate or sodium benzoate can be added to the jam to inhibit microbial growth. These preservatives at low concentrations are effective against a wide range of spoilage-causing microbes. Additionally, by generating an environment that limits microbial activity, refrigeration can stop microbial growth in jam. Although refrigeration slows the growth of bacteria, yeast, and molds, it should only be used for temporary storage, followed with other preservation methods.
The Malaysian Food Regulation of 1985 defined contaminants as accidental constituents. Any unwanted poisonous or hazardous compounds that are present in or on food are included by this definition. It comprises of pesticide residue, bacteria and their poisons, metal pollutants, and drug residue. However, it excludes any allowed food additives such as preservatives, coloring, flavors, and flavoring agents. Extrinsic and intrinsic factors are what causes an impact on the microbial development in food items. Extrinsic factors like temperature, humidity, and oxygen affect the growth of microorganisms and food quality during processing and storage. Temperature influences microorganism growth, humidity affects surface growth, and oxygen's availability determines the aerobic and anaerobic growth. Intrinsic factors including pH, moisture content, and nutrient content influence the growth of microorganisms in food. The pH level affects microbial growth preferences, moisture content provides a suitable environment for the growth, and nutrient-rich foods support microorganism multiplication. Proper control of these factors is essential for food safety. Jam is characterized by its high sugar content, which can actually be detrimental to microorganisms. While sugar can serve as an energy source for these organisms, excessive amounts can have harmful effects on their growth. Microorganisms require a favorable environment for their growth, but high sugar content in jam creates an unfavorable condition for them. However, certain fungi and bacteria may have some tolerance to acidic and high sugar conditions, which means there is a slight chance of their growth. This leads to mold and yeast growth or off odor. Factors such as the specific recipe, manufacturing process, storage condition, and duration, as well as how the jam is handled after opening, can also influence this possibility. Product contamination can also occur through cracked or chipped jars, bottles, or damaged lids, leading to physical impurities. Additionally, foreign objects like stones, slugs, and insects can inadvertently harvested with fruits and vegetables can also contaminate the product. In such cases, there is an elevated risk of microbiological contamination as well. Additionally, product contamination is also possible if the jam is left open or not closed properly for a long duration, as it increases the moisture content. The excess water in fruit product can cause an increase in the rate of microbial growth, which can not only spoil a product but could also decrease the length of its shelf life.
Now we'll be showing how we made our grapefruit jam. To get started, we'll need 3 grapefruits, sugar, and water. The first step is to prepare the grapefruit. Let me walk you through the process. Step 1. Cut off the top and the bottom of the grapefruit so it can sit flat on the cutting board. Using a sharp knife, start from the top and carefully cut off the peel along the sides, working your way around until it is all removed. Cut the grapefruit into halves and remove any seeds. Next, cut the fruit into large cubes and ensure that they are uniform in size for even cooking. Now that we have prepared our grapefruit, it is time to move on to the next step. Weigh the cut grapefruit and the sugar to ensure that they are in a 1-to-1 ratio. With our ingredients measured, it is time to start cooking our jam. Turn on the induction stove and adjust the heat accordingly to the medium heat setting. Next, add in all of the cut grapefruit while ensuring it is evenly distributed in the pan along with the caster sugar into the saucepot. We can now proceed with the cooking. Bring the mixture up to a boil while remembering to stir regularly until the sugar dissolves. Reduce the heat and allow the mixture to simmer until it thickens. Once our jam has reached the desired consistency, it is time for the final step. Carefully transfer the hot jam into a sieve with a bowl underneath it to remove any excess rind or seeds remaining. Allow the mixture to cool down by stirring regularly. Once the jam has cooled, it is ready to be stored. Transfer the cool jam into a clean jar, ensuring it is tightly sealed. Our homemade grapefruit jam is now ready.
Now we will be discussing our prototype. As mentioned earlier, our prototype is grapefruit jam. For prototype, we have performed a series of tests. The first was a storage test under room temperature conditions. For the microbiology aspect, we have performed a PCA and PDA test for our grapefruit jam. For the physics aspect, water activity test, moisture analyzer, and viscosity was measured. Throughout the test, aseptic techniques were applied such as sanitizing the surface with 70% alcohol and sterilizing the equipment before and after using. Moreover, while carrying out the water activity, moisture analyzer, and viscosity test, we ensured that the volume we use for the sample is consistent to obtain the accurate result. In terms of the physical characteristics such as color, texture, and smell, there are several changes. It is noted that the color of the jam turned a darker shade over 7 days, and this is due to the lack of preservatives in the product. The texture becomes sticky in comparison to the first day, and this could be due to the hygroscopic nature of sugar, which allows it to absorb moisture from its surrounding or crystallization of sugar. Additionally, there is a fermented smell which indicates that the jam has begun to spoil. This is due to the presence of yeast which can tolerate a low pH in jam and utilizes the high sugar content to convert into alcohol, contributing to the fermentation process. Another sign that yeast could be present in the jam is the existence of bubbles inside the jar. These bubbles indicate that the sugars in the jam are being aggressively fermented by yeast cells. Bubbles may emerge as a result of the fermentation process that yeast starts, which also could affect the texture and flavor of the jam. There are no visible indications of deteriorations like mold growth. It implies that there might not be any mold in the jam. According to the literature that is currently accessible, jam left at room temperature for roughly 3 to 4 weeks is usually susceptible to mold growth. Therefore, more time is required to observe this. However, it can be noted that the jam discoloration could be a sign of mold growth in its early stages.
In terms of the jam's moisture content, it is shown that the moisture content increases throughout the course of 7 days. This increase in moisture content raises the possibility that the jam shelf life will be shortened because of higher moisture level fosters the growth of microbes more readily. Bacteria, mold and other microorganisms have a tendency to flourish in situations with increased relative humidity. The jam's increasing water activity observed over time indicates a reduction in shelf life and fosters a more hospitable environment for potential microbial development. The presence of bacteria and yeast in the jam, which might cause it to spoil, may be indicated by this shift in water activity. Yeast is known to be tolerant of a variety of water activity levels. The viscosity of the grapefruit jam increases after a few days of storing at room temperature, therefore indicating that our product exhibits a retroplastic behavior at a constant shear rate of 200 rpm.
PCA and PDA are agar that are often used in microbiology, which are used for detection and quantification of microorganisms. Potato dextrose agar, which also known as PDA, is used to detect yeast and mold, while PCA is used to detect viable bacterial growth of a sample. Based on the results obtained, fungus and mold growth was observed in both PCA and PDA agar after an incubation of 7 days. The presence of fungus and mold indicates that there is a presence of these spoilage-causing microbes in our jam.
The physical characteristics we noted after we had made our prototype grapefruit jam product was that the color was a deep red like the fruit itself. The texture was thick and cohesive, allowing it to hold its shape when scooped or spread on bread. The aroma of the grapefruit jam was sweet and fruity with a distinct grapefruit fragrance, and we did a sensory test between the 4 of us. While 2 of us thought it tasted fine, the other 2 thought it was more sour than sweet due to the nature of grapefruit and also because we didn't add too much sugar either.
To conclude, grapefruit jam is a product crafted to preserve the fruit's color, flavor, and nutritional value. Its vibrant red color is indicative of its high content of vitamins, phenolic compounds, and antioxidants which offer potential health benefits. To prevent spoilage and ensure consumer safety, grapefruit jam requires additional preservation techniques. Methods such as heat processing and chemical preservatives are effective in inhibiting bacterial growth and extending the shelf life of grapefruit jam. It is important to consider factors such as temperature, humidity, pH, and nutrient composition as they can influence microbial development in jam. It is crucial to control these factors effectively and be mindful of potential contamination risk from physical impurities. By understanding the characteristics of grapefruit jam and implementing appropriate preservation methods, the quality of the product can be maintained. The grapefruit jam underwent a series of tests to assess its qualities and potential for spoilage. The storage test conducted under room temperature revealed changes in physical characteristics such as a darker color, stickier texture, and fermented smell, indicating spoilage. The presence of yeast was confirmed through the observation of bubbles and the occurrence of fermentation. While no visible signs of mold growth were observed, the discoloration of jam suggested a potential presence of mold in its early stages. The moisture analyzer test showed an increase in moisture content over time, which could shorten the shelf life and promote microbial growth. The rise in water activity further indicated a more favorable environment for microbial development. The PCA and PDA tests confirmed the presence of fungus and mold, highlighting the potential for spoilage caused by these microorganisms. Overall, these results emphasize the importance of proper storage and preservation techniques to maintain the quality and extend the shelf life of grapefruit jam.